Hi everyone, in this video, I will decorate the dinosaur house, since I haven't decorated it yet, and I'll spin a wheel to decide what character from Miraculous Ladybug will inspire each room. So let's get started. I wonder what character I'll land on. Ooh, I'll base the first room off of Ladybug. Since Ladybug wears Ladybug-themed clothes, which are mainly red, I'm going to make everything inside of this room relate to red. Anyway, a tip I have to elevate your house design is that you can use different wallpapers on each wall. I recently discovered this trick inside one of my videos, and since then, my houses have definitely upgraded. Anyway, now I'm making a little wall out of basic shapes to separate the room into two different sections. I'm using the first section to make a living area, and I'm adding a couch and a coffee table. Now I'm elevating the living area's design by adding some pink cubes and some decorative details. Some things I like to add are rugs and plants because they make my rooms feel more full and lively. Now I'm placing and stacking some cylinders to make the corners of the room more interesting, and some slabs raised up to the ceiling to make the walls look less empty. Now I'm decorating the second section, which is the pet area, where people can take care of their pets. Anyway, the first thing I did was add some basic shapes to make the floor raised. Then I added some red triangles to make an arrow design to point upwards. I also added some pink cubes, the essentials, and some decorations. Then I placed a bunch of plants lol. I figured out that if you place two different plants together, you can create some cool plant designs. Lastly, for this room, I placed some lights and some more cylinders and slabs. Now since I finished decorating the first room, I'll decide what the next room will be themed off of. Wow! The next room will be based off Bunnyx. Since Bunnyx wears light blue clothes, I'm using some Smurf wallpapers, the light blue Carapace wallpaper, and some flooring from the Valentine's event lol. Now I'm creating the kitchen counter, where I'll add the essentials and such. I used cylinders, slabs, and light blue items and shapes to emphasize the theme. While designing the kitchen, I made an oven using some Christmas fireplaces, and I added some more slabs and a blue wall to add dimension to the room. Now I'm placing some small slabs and merging them into the counter to create drawers. Now I'm continuing to add stuff into the kitchen. Now I'm adding some cubes and items to elevate the kitchen design even more. Now I'm raising some slabs, adding a bunch of plants, and blocking the door off using some rectangles. Now I'm just making the blocked off door look better by adding some small rectangles lol. After adjusting the rectangles, I placed some rugs, added more to the blocked off door, and added some other items. Lastly, I decorated the walls using a rug and some wall items. Now since I finished making the kitchen, I was going to make the stairway look more interesting, but I forgot to record the footage lol. At least I recorded what the stairway was going to be based off of. It's based off Viperion. Here's the finished entryway, and the rest of the stairway. Now let's see which character the next room will be based off of. Ooh, the next room will be based off Queen Bee. The first thing I did to this room was add some basic shapes to add some walls, because I don't like decorating big spaces lol. Then I added some cylinders to make the corners of the room look more interesting. After that, I added some yellow wallpapers and flooring since Queen Bee is based off a bee and bees are yellow. Then I thought that the walls were quite bland, so I merged some yellow semicircles into the bases of the walls. Now I'm adding some rugs and some bookshelves to create a tiny library. I also decided to add a TV because I wanted some of the yellow semicircles to stay visible, without making the space between each row of bookshelves empty. Anyway, now I'm adding some black carpets onto the walls to mimic the stripes on bees. Now I'm adjusting the rugs I placed earlier, and I added some beach towels to act like posters. Now I'm adding some miscellaneous items to make the room more lively and less empty. Now I'm placing some slabs to create a table to place things on. During this, I used some items I haven't touched in a while lol. Now I'm adding some yellow cylinders to elevate the table even more. Lastly, I placed some basic shapes and decorative items to finish the room. Now let's see which character the next room will be based off of. Wow! The next room will be based off Carapace. I started designing this room by picking some green wallpapers and flooring. Then I created a raised floor to separate the room into two little areas. Now I'm merging some light green slabs into the raised floor to make it look more interesting. After that, I added and rotated some green walls to create a unique wall design. I also placed a small island and some more slabs to create a little area to place a cake on. Now I'm starting to decorate the sleeping area. I added a Carapace bed since I thought it matched the green theme. Then I was originally going to make a seating area, then a desk, but I added a slab to place a TV on instead. Now I'm adding some plants. After that, I decorated one of the walls by adding some framed pictures and posters. Then I decorated the other wall by placing two windows and a green cylinder between them. Now I'm adding some lights to upgrade the sleeping area. Then I placed a train surrounding the cake, and I started to work on adding some green bookshelves. After placing the bookshelves, I placed some little plants and some bushes to make the top of the shelf more interesting to look at. Lastly, I added a black rug onto the wall, and I placed more plants lol. Now let's see what the hallway will be based off of. Ooh, the hallway will be based off Moth. The first thing I did to the hallway was add some dark purple wallpapers and flooring, since Moth wears dark purple clothes, and the ecumas he casts are dark purple as well. Then I created a wall using some large slabs, since some slabs were sticking out of the other room wall. Anyway, then I spent a while trying to cover up other things from other rooms using more basic shapes, and from adjusting things. I used this opportunity to create a cabinet with drawers on the ceiling. I didn't finish it though, as I started to work on a place where ecumas can fly, but I completed it later. Anyway, I thought a rectangle wouldn't be enough to make it look interesting, so I added some small slabs to cover up all that blank space. Then I placed some Moth themed furniture to make the hallway look less empty. And here's when I established the Ecuma Sanctuary. After that, I came back to the unfinished cabinet and completed it. Lastly, I added an Akuma picture onto one of the walls. Now let's see which character the last room will be based off of. Wow! The last room will be based off of Rena Rouge. I started decorating this room by adding some orange wallpapers and flooring since Rena Rouge wears orange clothes. Then I added some cylinders to make the corners look more interesting. After that, I placed a bed and merged some slabs into it to make a cool bed design. Now I'm placing some windows to add some light into the room, and then I created an area to place a closet at. Then I added some plants to create a unique plant design. After that, I decorated another wall by adding some basic shapes and a wooden water fountain. Now I'm adjusting some items and adding some dimension to the room using basic shapes. I'm also doing this to cover some other shapes sticking out from the other rooms, lol. Now I'm adjusting things again. Now I'm creating a rug design by merging a couple of rugs, and the last thing I did inside this room was adjust and add even more items. Last but not least, I spent 8 minutes adjusting everything inside the house. I adjusted a lot of things, lol. Now since I'm done decorating the interior, I need to decorate the exterior. I ended up making the exterior of the house Ladybug themed, because the main character of Miraculous Ladybug is Ladybug, lol. Anyway, for the object outside of my house, I placed some tires from Zero Gravity 2024. Now since I fully finished my house, I'll give you a house tour. Firstly, here's how the exterior looks outside of the editing menu. I personally really like it. Now let's go inside. When you arrive inside the house, you'll be greeted by an amazing and cozy living area where you can talk with your family and friends. If you walk forward, you'll come across the pet station, where you can take care of your pets, or kwamis. Behind the pet station, there's a kitchen where you can cook delicious meals and serve them to others around you. Or you can eat them yourself, lol. Anyway, if you head down the stairs, you'll meet a room where you can read some interesting books, or play some games with yourself or others. If you go to the right, you'll walk into the first bedroom, where you can host some sleepovers and make great memories. Last but not least, if you walk into the hallway, past the Akuma Sanctuary, you'll come across the second bedroom where you can get some great sleep. Anyway, now that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.